morning. Welcome to our Hsing Chuan program for this Wednesday morning. It is our last class for the month of May, and we'll be heading into our June program starting next week. So we've been working on, we were kind of reviewing some of the five fists restraining solo motions to get ready for last Saturday's class on that. Went really well. Hopefully we got a good sense of how that worked for them and interacted. Let's keep a little bit of that going so we can keep that sort of sequence running in your own practice. And we're going to be adding some more animals to our animal review that we've been working on for the last several months. Okay, so we're going to settle the feet in the ground and just take a moment. Let the head rise and fall. Yeah, looking from side to side. And we'll go ear to one shoulder and hang. And to the other. Again, to the first side. And the second. And let the head roll. A couple of circles in the front. Good, and then let's warm up the shoulders. Shoulders back. And shoulders forward. Arms can circle back one way. And the other. We'll reach and lean to one side. And to the other. Again to the first side. And the second. Arms nice and loose. Let's wrap those around the body a bit. Good, and then up, over and around. And the other way. Good, shoulder stretch, give it a bit of a pull. And same on the other side. Good, over the head, we'll pull. And same on the other side. Behind the back and pull. And same on the other arm. Good, let's warm up the hips. Roll them around one way. Good, and around the other. Good, knees from the inside to the outside. 2, 3, 4, 5. From the outside to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And last thing, just a bit of a stretch down. Hang down towards the ground. And then we can roll to come back up. Okay, let's start out today with a bit of moving through our 5 elements in the traditional walking patterns. Let's work our turnarounds and openings and closings and take ourselves starting with wood. So we're going to go 1, 2, through and out. So wood fist version we work on to start, shuffle and shuffle. Good. Through. Then we're brushing, settling, turning through to the dragon. And again, making our next pass. Turning again, brush, settle, come up and through. One more back and forth. So driving through that wood fist, getting a nice push through with that back leg. And again. So we want to link that back leg to the lead arm as we drive. Link that back leg to the back arm, to the lead arm, and to the back arm. Okay, wood, fire. So 1, 2, 3, and some toy. We're gathering and boom, exploding, gathering, driving, gathering, driving, turning, in, coming around, dragon, draw, pound. Yeah, turn, through, turn. We'll go for about another 20, 30 seconds here with our fire fist. Last few passes. Okay, wood, fire, earth. So starting out again, just getting our opening diagonal posture. 3, come through, palm. Now we're covering and coming our diagonal. So we're coming through, crossing, cover, cross, cover, cross. We're going to turn, come through with the dragon, and crossing. Turning. When you need the space, turn around. We'll go for about another 30 seconds here. Just kind of reviewing through. So we've got that closing and then driving with the forearm, closing with the hammer side, driving through, spiraling. We've got potential sideways motion, and we've got that sort of sliding in an uppercut. Okay, wood, fire, earth, metal. Metal is considered to be one of the main ones that we want to study because it has so much in it. So 1, 2, and 3. We start with metal. So we've got our uppercut. We've got our spiral through, palm to uppercut, spiral through, palm to uppercut. We're brushing to turn on the spiraling around to dragon. And again, stepping through. Turn. So from that dragon, straight into your uppercut, come through palm, and uppercut, come through palm, and uppercut. Again, we'll go just a few more seconds here. Down, I gotta do 2 more passes. And last little bit. Yeah. Okay, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Let's finish up our last one. So, brushing down again to some toy, come through with our uppercut. We shuffle with the piercing fingers. We're stepping in to hook and pull. step through, uppercut, pierce with the fingers, pull through, punch, pierce, brush, down, turning, and stepping in, uppercut, and pierce. Turning again for me in my space anyway. Good. Go just a little longer here on the last one. Uppercut, pierce with the fingers, draw, uppercut, pierce, draw, uppercut, pierce. Okay, should get everything moving around and warmed up a little. So let's go to our stationary pattern that we were doing while we're working on the two-person set, the five-fist restraining. So we're starting out with left hand, and we went wood. Wood gets trapped by metal, so we go fire. Then fire gets doused by water, so we go earth. Good. Earth goes to wood, fire, earth, metal. I'm almost losing it today. And then we get our water fist. Should be over here. Thinking, talking, doing. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Wood, fire, earth, metal. So we're coming around. And water. Get my hands mixed up. Wood, I need somebody punching me. It doesn't work without somebody punching me. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. Get my water and metal mixed up. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. There we go. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Okay, hard one to do without somebody there and kind of giving you the feedback. So next time you get together with somebody who worked in that workshop, you're like, hey, come over here. It's time for us to hit each other for a little bit. Let's jump into the animal work that we've been spending so much time on. We'll go for a quick review on some of the animal fists we've done. We were focusing on bear eagle this month, getting the rising and the sailing. We worked on a couple of Chuan exercises for that as well. So, pardon me. Let's keep that going. So, why don't we start off today and let's review our tiger for a little bit. So we're going to go gather in and drive out. So gather. Let's not worry about the drag and turns. Let's turn with the animal itself. Turn around, strike with that sword. And we've got this short kind of circular draw, and then we're pounding out towards the hands. Gather and pound. Gather, draw, turn, gather, out, draw, push, draw, drive. A few more seconds. Draw, drive, gather, gather. Okay, let's switch that up. Let's look a little bit at our phoenix. So first bird ones we were working on. So this is the one we're coming up with the crossed wrists. We're driving in, we're tearing with the fingers, and we're drawing in with the knee. Then we're cycling through and double fist. So as we step in, we're crossing the wrists, We're pulling open as we knee with a claw, and then cycling through punches. Up, knee, punch, turn, pull, punch. So a lot of calisthenics in this one for big openings and closings. So we're closing as we come forward. We're opening up. We're getting nice articulation in the shoulder blades as we roll back. And there's a sense of closing and short driving power in this double fisting, this two fist hit coming through. So one and boom, double punch. Yeah, a few more seconds. So drive, open, double punch, pull, open, double punch, pull, tear, double punch. Okay, a little less jarring. So Tiger and Phoenix have those real pounding, driving motions. Now let's go to that sort of sneaky locking and connecting exercise we get with Monkey. So we're hooking over with one hand and coming up with the other. We're drawing with that side. We're coming through with the other. So we pull, catch, pull, catch. So there's a lot of work in this one in terms of making changes in your insides to create the pulls. So when you're about to, you've got one hand forward and you're thinking about hooking and grabbing with that, think about turning in your insides, drawing, pivoting on that front foot. So you're drawing in, you're pulling through, and then snapping in with that back leg and back arm. So really think about getting some nice turning and drawing with those internals. So it looks light, but we're really teaching the internals how to change and shift from leg to leg. Just a few more seconds to work on this one. Draw through, draw through. Good. Okay, so let's finish off this bit of review section before we move into our Bear Eagle. And I think we're starting to look at Snake as well this month. So let's go back to some of that work we've been doing for the water lizard. So this is one of the more recent ones we were doing, and we were talking about that. We have both expanding as well as resting and kind of supporting, and then we have condensing and drawing in as we choke up with that back foot. So we're driving in. So then we're going to roll through. So again, thinking about that internal shaping. We're drawing back. We're kind of creating a pressure forwards so we can release that and come forward with the other arm as we choke up and into that technique. So we're going as we come through, as we come through. So we're gathering, driving, gathering, driving. So this is a good place to work on a little bit of that explosive Jing idea that where the power comes quickly and from almost nowhere. So you can think about tightening this up to a place where you're kind of just rolling the insides and then moving quickly. Everything kind of shuffles into place all at once. So we're gathering, we're experimenting with that nice big open technique. And now think of everything closing quickly as you kind of drive in and step into that position. So open, 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 and pull. Open and pull. Open, pull, open, pull. Okay. Looking at our clock, time is ticking on by. So let's switch into a little bit of Chuan. So there's two Chuan exercises we've been working on this month. We've been working on the back of hand palm, heavy hand work. So we've been working on as we sit into the back leg, we're kind of lifting up on the back arm and settling the front arm. And as we come forward, we're lifting up the front arm and dropping down with the back. So we've got this one high, one low, one high, one low. So it's a nice each one exercise. We're getting that feeling of flow down, up, down. So we're shifting from leg to leg. Let's try putting the other leg forward for a moment. So same play. As I roll back, my front arm is pressing down, my back arm is opening. So I'm lifting up. And as I'm lifting up, that creates pressure down. So the pressure down is on the opposite side of the arm that's lifting. And then we change. We let that lift that hand drop, and we lift the other side to facilitate that kind of change from one arm to the other. And we drop down. So 1 and 4. Last couple. Good. Okay. So what was the other Chuan we were working on? The other Chuan we were working on was that, like I was saying, Sensei Vanexen likes to call it sort of like the J or the U kind of arc, where we're kind of rolling down and we're going to pop up for our uppercut. We're going to dip into that front leg and we're going to pop up and transfer to our back leg. Dip in the back, pop up into the front. And let's go to the other side. So we're going uppercut, dip, push. Feel like those legs are pushing. Not so much an arm technique as a push from the legs. Dip, push. Good, okay. We'll shake that out. So how do we apply this into our bear eagle? So unlike in I Chuan, where the one hand goes down, the other hand goes up, in the bear eagle, we're going to be kind of pressing one down, lifting the other up, and then we just release that arm to the front. So now both hands are kind of down. Then we get our dip and our uppercut. So we're coming through, we're kind of opening this up and driving down, and then boom, up with an uppercut. Open up, step in, palm from the back leg, and then uppercut. So this is one of the few places we see a very distinct rear leg uppercut. Most of the other movements in the five fists have been lead arm uppercuts or stepping in and catching this. This is one of the places where we get kind of a roll and drive, a roll and drive. Now, we could go all the way down to the ground with this, but this could also be thinking about doing something like a parry, where someone's striking in towards you. So it's almost like a skipping stone. You're going to smash down with the palm and then fire up with an uppercut. Boom, boom. 1, 2. So we're dousing, or we're smashing down with the palm and then firing in with that uppercut. Down with that palm, boom, in with the uppercut. A few more. So 1, up from underneath. So we're spraying again. Always these big motions for our walks are really giving us a chance to kind of get big framework. Open up the body and settle here, landing in that front hip, and the mass of coming forward is delivered into the hand. Then quickly we choke in and boom, we come through with that uppercut. So we open and think of all the mass of the step being released down into your hand and then up. Don't think of it as a shove down. All the effort has been in opening things up so that when you step, this is a release. It's heavy hand. It hits heavy and then it drives back up from underneath. Hits heavy and drives back up. Okay, continuing on our animals. Snake was the next one. We just started to have a little bit of a look at that. So snake has some similarities to our monkey in that it has this kind of circulating from underneath. Unlike the monkey that's thinking about trapping and holding, snake is a little bit more pounding with the forearms. So we're learning how to pound and hit with the forearms in a couple of different ways in snake. One is this driving down. So an interesting way to work on this is to actually kind of put a palm in your way, a diagonal kind of, and think about starting at your finger and pushing that into place. So you're driving, you've got forward motion with this. So you're driving down. This is quite often used as a way to defend against somebody who wants to surround and grab your legs. So you're kind of putting that snake arm down into place so they bump into your shoulder and arm, but they don't get your hips and your leg. I could be kind of sprawling back with both. It could be driving with one or the other. So we've got that motion. The other direction that we're working on the forearm is up. So again, you can take a palm and just kind of think about hinge your shoulder down and drive up from underneath. Boom. So we've got a forward slide and we have an upwards bump. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So one of the last points of contact in this one is the palm. And this is the classic, in a lot of ways, the classic palm parry. Something's coming at you, you take the palm and you press it, press it, press it. So you can end up using almost the entire arm. You can use a bit more of the hand, but you're getting a sense you're shifting something out of the way. And in the set, we're kind of shifting a little off angle. Whoa, right? So we're kind of shifting as we parry. We're moving to the side a little bit as we parry. And then as we parry, we're going to parry, and then we're going to drive down as we do that, and then we're going to step through and underneath. So we put all those pieces together, we shuffle up, and then we step through. We shuffle up, and we come underneath, in and under. Good. 1, 2, down, in, down, and up. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it there. Don't worry, we'll keep picking up on snake when we come back in June. And then we're also going to look at our hawk and swallow techniques in June as well. And that will probably wrap up our review of the 12 animals. Okay, thanks for trying hard today. If you have any questions, you got any directions you'd like things to go in June, let's talk about that now, and then we'll come back and play some My Jung La Horn. I'll talk to you soon.